Om Sri Sai Ram. In the last two sessions, we were solving problems based upon linear programming. We started with some simple problems. From there, we moved on to problems which are little lengthy, and we have done various types of problems. In this last session of linear programming, we will take up few more problems, and these problems are going to be again different than the problems which we have solved. Let us look at this problem. An aeroplane can carry a maximum of 200 passengers. A profit of rupees 1000 is made on each executive class ticket, and a profit of 600 is made on each economy class ticket. The airline reserves at least 20 seats for executive class. However, at least 4 times as many passengers prefer to travel by economy class than by the executive class. Determine how many tickets of each type must be sold in order to maximize the profit for the airline, and what is the maximum profit. He is talking about executive and economy class tickets in a flight. So he says that on each executive class ticket, they are able to make a profit of 1000 rupees. On economy class, they are able to make a profit of 600 rupees. He is asking determine how many tickets of each type must be sold. Let X number of executive type and Y number of economy tickets to be sold. We are assuming that X number of executive type tickets and Y number of economy type tickets are to be sold. Ultimately, we want to know what is the profit. The profit function, we generally take it as Z, and it is called optimization function. So what is Z going to be? Z is going to be equal to 1000x plus 600y. Why? Because on each ticket he is going to get 1000 rupees profit, and here he is going to get 600. Read further. He says an aeroplane can carry maximum of 200 passengers. If you are selling X tickets of executive, Y tickets of economy, then this X plus Y is less than or equal to 200. You cannot have more than 200. Then further he says the airline reserves at least 20 seats for executive type, means X is greater than or equal to 20. Executive seats are 20 or more. Okay. At least 20 seats for executive class. However, at least 4 times as many passengers prefer to travel by economy class. How many tickets on economy class? Y. Y is, he says, 4 times as many people travel by economy class than by the executive class. So for Y is greater than or equal to 4x. So this much information is being given to us. We want to know what is Z, and we know that the number of seats on executive class or economy class are going to be 0 or more than 0. So X is greater than or equal to 0, and Y is also greater than or equal to 0. So let us move on to solve this problem. This much information is given. With the help of this, we wish to draw the graphs and then solve the problem. What is the procedure we follow? We convert inequations to equations so that straight lines can be drawn. After drawing the straight lines, what is our objective? To shade the portion according to inequation. Then the next task is to know where they are meeting each other. We need to know the corner points and we should know the coordinates of those corner points. And finally, we substitute those corner points in this particular relation z, which is called optimization function, and according to problem either we take the maximum value or we take the minimum value. Here we want to make the profit maximum. So among the answers which you are going to get for z, whichever is maximum, that will be the answer. So we don't draw this line, we will draw other things. So how do you draw x plus y less than or equal to 200? Just make a simple table. Right now we are not writing as equation, we are assuming it is an equation. So here we have x and y. Let us say x is 0, y is 200, y is 0, x is 200. This is good enough. 2 points are good enough to draw a straight line. We don't need to take more points. Come to this, x is greater than or equal to 20. So here the corresponding equation is going to be x equal to 20. Come to this, y is greater than or equal to 4x. Equation is going to be y equal to 4x. If y equal to 4x is the equation, the values are going to be x and y going to be, if x is 0, y is 0. If x is 20, y is 80. If x is 40, y is going to be 160, etc. These are good enough for us to draw the equations. Okay. Once again, we will just check whether we have missed anything. The airline reserves at least 20 seats for executive class. However, at least 4 times as many passengers prefer to travel by economy class than by the executive class. Determine how many tickets of each type sold to make the maximum profit. So this is good enough information. Now draw the graph. Here also we can take 1 or 2 more points so that it will become easy. Let us say x is 40. If x is 40, y is going to be 160. Let us say each of them is representing 20. Let us begin with this first one. X is 0, y is 200, and x is 200, y is 0. Join both of them. That is first line. So this is been done. Next is x is equal to 20. We know that x equal to 0 is the equation of y axis. So x equal to 20 is a line parallel to y axis. So this is y axis, this is 20. So this is the line which shows x equal to 20. So this is been done. Come to the last one. X is 0, y is 0. Fine. Origin itself. Then x is 20, y is 80. X is 20, y is 80. Point is here. Then x is 40, y is 160. X is 40, this is 160. Or these 2 points are good enough to draw the line 0, 0 and 20, 80. This is the second line. Okay. Now what is important? The important thing is to know where they are meeting each other. No, before that we need to shade. For the first one, suppose if you substitute, because the first line is not passing through origin, substitute 0, 0, 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 200. So toward the side of origin. So for the first one, we need to shade this side. Come to the second one, x equal to 20. Suppose if you substitute 0, 0 is greater than or equal to 20, which is wrong. So we need to shade the portion x is greater than or equal to 20. So 0 is greater than 20 is wrong. So other side we have to shade. So this is the side which we need to shade. Come to the third one. Because it is passing through origin, take some other point. Any point you can take. Let us say we take this point 60, 0. Substitute here. 0 is greater than 60 into 4 to 40. 0 is greater than, which is wrong. So other side of the line you have to shade. So this is the side we want to shade. Find out above x-axis and right side of y-axis, that is the last one. So the portion which we need to shade is this. Above this, right side of this, below this. So this is the common area. This is the common area. You can name them as A, B, C. Now what is important is to know where they are meeting each other. When you draw these things exactly on a graph paper, it is very, very easy to find out. Okay. Since we have done everything approximately, so we will just write down the correct values so that there is no mistake in solving the problem. So the first one is, the first point A is actually, A is 20, 100. The point B is 40, 160. And the point C which we find is 20, 175. This we have to read from the graph paper. Okay. So that is very, very important to know the coordinates of ABC, and you will know without any difficulty when you do it on the graph paper. Okay. Now for all these 3 points we need to know what is Z. So substitute these values in Z. So we will say Z is equal to 1000 into 20. So it will become 20,000 plus 100 into 600, 60,000. So the total comes to 80,000 rupees in the first case. Second case, in this Z is equal to 40 into 1000, it will be 40,000 plus 160 into 600. 16 6 is 96. So it will be 96,000. So the total will come 1,36,000 rupees. Finally, in the last case, Z is equal to 1000 into 20, 20,000 plus 175 into 60, 175 into 2 is 35, 35 into 2, 70. So it will come to 70,000. So the total is 90,000. In which case we are trying to get the maximum profit? The maximum profit is obtained when number of executive tickets are sold 40 and economy tickets are sold 160. So the answer is number of executive tickets equal to 40 and number of economy tickets equal to 160. This is the case, okay, 40 and 160, and profit is 1,36,000. This is the profit, and this is how we solve the problems. Okay. From here we move on to the next problem, which is very interesting problem, very practical problem, just that it is too long a problem because many things are involved into it, but it is a very practical problem, so we are studying about it. This is the problem. You can see problem itself has taken the whole page. Two godowns A and B have grain capacity of 100 quintals and 50 quintals respectively. There are two godowns. One can store 100 quintals, another can store 50 quintals. They supply to three ration shops D, E and F whose requirements are 60, 50 and 40 quintals respectively. The cost of transportation per quintal from the godowns to the shops are given in the following table. Means if you have to take the grains of 1 quintal from A to D, you have to spend 6 rupees. This is the transportation charge. Similarly, from A to E it is 3 rupees, A to F it is 2 rupees 50 paise. Similarly, B to D, B to E is given. He says, how should the supplies be transported in order that the transportation cost is minimum? In the previous problem, we wanted to make profit maximum. In this particular problem, since it is connected to transportation, you will always look for minimum cost of the transportation. If these grains are to be supplied from godown A and godown B to three ration shops D, E and F as per their requirement, what is the minimum of the transportation charges? Very interesting problem. So just have a look how to proceed. Now let us say this is one godown, you can call it A, and let us say this is the other godown, B. This has got a capacity of 100 quintals to store, this has got a capacity of 50 quintals to store. And let us say we have got three ration shops, one is D, another is E, another is F. This is D, this is E, this is F. He says the ration shops requirement is 60 quintals, 50 quintals and 40 quintals. It is their requirement. And this is the transportation cost. So let us begin from the godown A. Let us say he supplies first to D. How much he is supplying? We have to assume. We have to assume that from godown A, he supplies X quintals to godown D. he is supplying X. Similarly to second go down, let us say he is supplying Y quintals, and to third he will be able to supply what is left. It has 100, he has supplied X here, Y here, so here he is going to supply 100 minus X minus Y. Come to go down B. From A he already got X quintals. Its requirement is 60 quintals. So how much he will take from B? He will take 60 minus X. Similarly, when we come to the go down number, the shop number E, he already got Y quintals from A. So how much he will take from B? He will take 50 minus Y. Similarly to the third one, he says he has already collected 100 minus X minus Y. His requirement is only 40. So 40 minus 100 minus X minus Y. 40 minus 100 is minus 60. Minus X will become plus X. So here he will be getting X plus Y minus 60. So that their requirements are fulfilled. Now come to the transportation. From A to D it is 6 rupees. Whereas for B it is 3 rupees. And for the last one it is 2.5. Similarly from B it is 4 rupees per quintal, 2 rupees per quintal and 3 rupees per quintal. So we have drawn a diagram in order to understand the concepts. Now we have to get the inequations. So let us just go to the diagram, and remember we want to minimize the transportation cost. That is our objective. This is the diagram. We have written their requirements, we have written the transportation cost, everything. Now let us form the inequations. How do you form the inequations? He says he is getting X quintals from here. So remaining will be 60 minus X. So this 60 minus X is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Similarly 50 minus Y is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Similarly this third one, X plus Y minus 60 is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Means whatever supplies are coming from go down A, balance will come from B, and the balances are going to be either 0 or more than 0, they will not be negative. So we have got this, and you can always write X is greater than or equal to 0, Y is greater than or equal to 0. The most important part is to write the optimization function. What is the optimization function here? Optimization function is the transportation cost, total transportation cost, and which we want to minimize. So write that transportation cost Z is equal to, he is taking X quintals here, per quintal transportation is 6, so it is 6X. Similarly here 3 into Y, 3Y. Similarly here 2.5 into 100 minus X minus Y. So these are the transportation costs from A to all the 3. Now do the same thing from B. So you will have plus 60 minus X into 4 plus 50 minus Y into 2 plus X plus Y minus 60 into 3. What do we do next? Simplify it. Put all X terms together plus put all Y terms together and then simplify it to one particular inequation. and I will directly write that equation in order to save the time. To save the time, I will directly write that equation. We were going to get z equal to 2.5x plus 1.5y plus 410. This we want to minimize. These are the constraints. So, how do we do it? By drawing the graph. So, draw the graph. If for example this one, convert into equation, it will be x equal to 60, simple one. For this one, the easiest will be y equal to 50. This one, take x and y values. For this also take x and y values. X values, suppose x is 0, equation is going to be x plus y equal to 60. So, x is 0, y is 60, y is 0, x is 60, enough. And this we do not need to do. So, these are good enough to draw. So, let us draw these things. Yes, this also we need to do. 100 minus x minus y is also greater than or equal to 0. 100 minus x minus y is greater than or equal to 0, or x plus y equal to 100. So, if it is 0, it is 100. If it is 0, this is 100. Now, draw the graph. The most important part of the problem is to draw the graph. The first one is x equal to 60. What do you mean by that? X equal to 0 is the equation of y axis. So, x equal to 60 is a line parallel to y axis at a distance of 60. So, this is 60. So, you can draw a line. What this line represents? It represents x equal to 60. Then we have y equal to 50. Y equal to 0 is the equation of x axis. So, y equal to 50 is a line parallel to y axis. So, here is a line which represents y equal to 50. Two lines are already been drawn. Next, what is the next line? The third one, x is 0, y is 60. X is 60, y is 0. So, through these 2 points, we draw a line. Okay. Finally, x is 100, y is 100. X is 0, y is 100. X is 100, y is 0. So, there is one more line here. Yes. So, we have drawn all the 4 lines. This particular line represents this x plus y minus 60 greater than or equal to 0, and this represents 100 minus x minus y greater than or equal to 0. Now, the next step is to shade the portions. So, let us begin with the first line, x equal to 60. If you take 0, 0, substitute in this, 60 minus 0 is greater than 0. So, it shows that it is true. So, toward the origin we have to shade. So, this is the shading direction. Come to the second one, y equal to 50, substitute 0, 50 is greater than 0, so this also shows that it is toward the origin. Come to the third one, substitute 0, 0 in this equation, you will get 0 plus 0 minus 60 is greater than or equal to 0, which is wrong. Minus 60 cannot be greater than 0. So, the other side of that we have to do. So, where origin is not there. So, this is the direction in which we will be shading. Take the last one. In this, if you substitute 0, 0, you get 100 is greater than or equal to 0, which is true, which shows that toward the origin. So, this is the direction in which we will be shading. Now, find out where they are meeting each other. That is the most important thing. This is above this line, below this line, below this line, this side. So, we can name it as A, B, C and D. This is the common area which we got with the help of various inequations. And what is important? Points A, B, C, D. Okay. When you draw this on the graph paper, you will know the exact location and you will be able to read what are the values of A, B, C, D. Since we have drawn rough diagram, it may or may not be so correctly to measure. So, we will just directly write the answer. So, the answer for A is anyway seen 60, 0. There is no difficulty to read. Come to B. The value of B is 60, 40. The value of C is 50, 50. And value of D is 10, 50. So, these are the 4 corner points. For each corner point, find out what is Z. So, in this case, Z is going to be 60 into 2.5. 120 in 150, it is going to be 150 plus 0. So, it is nothing but 60 into 2.5 plus 410. This will give you 560. Come to the second one, Z is equal to 2.5 into 60 is same 150 plus 40 into 1.5. 15 4s are 60 plus 410. So, it is going to be 210, 410, 620 rupees. Third one, 50, 50. Z is equal to 50 into 2.5, 125. 50 into 1.5, 75 plus 410 is going to be 610 rupees. And finally, Z is equal to 10 into 2.5, 25 plus 1.5 into 50, 15 5s are 75 plus 410 is 510. These are the transportation costs depending upon A, B, C and D. We need to choose the minimum. So, the minimum transportation cost is this. If this is the minimum transportation cost, when did we get? When point D is 10, 50. Means what? X value is 10, Y value is 50. So, X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 50 and Z is equal to 510, the minimum transportation cost. Means what? From A he should supply 10 quintals to D and 50 quintals to E, and rest will follow automatically. And this is what he asked us to find out. Okay. So, this is how the transportation problems are solved. Very interesting, because they are actually we come across in day-to-day life. We'll end this session with one more problem. Is also going to be a different problem than what we have done. A toy company manufactures two types of dolls, A and B. Market tests and available resources have indicated that the combined production level should not exceed 1,200 dolls. Means company can produce maximum 1,200 dolls. How many A, how many B, that you can that we have to find out, okay, per week, and demand for the dolls of type B is at most half of that of for the dolls of type A. Further, the production levels of dolls of type A can exceed 3 times the production of dolls of other type by at most 600 units. If the company makes a profit of 12 rupees and 16 rupees per doll respectively on A and B, how many each should be produced weekly in order to maximize the profit? We want to maximize the profit. We have to assume. We assume that the company produces X numbers of type A dolls and Y numbers of type B dolls. So, begin with that. Let number of type A dolls be X and type B dolls be Y. We are assuming that the company is producing X numbers of type A dolls and Y numbers of type B dolls. Now read the question. First write the profit function. He gets a profit of, first thing he says is it can produce maximum, it should not exceed more than 1200. So, the first inequation can be X plus Y is less than or equal to 1200. Why it is so? This is number of dolls. Number of dolls cannot exceed 1200. Then he says, and demand for the dolls of type B. Type B we have assumed as Y is at most half of that of dolls of type A. Y is, read again, for the demand for dolls of type B, that is Y, is at most half of that of type A. So, Y is less than or equal to X by 2. Further, the production levels of dolls of type A can exceed 3 times the production of dolls of other type by at most 600 units. So, X 3 times, so 3Y plus 600. Maximum this, so it should be less than or equal to this. And then the optimization function is about the profit. He makes a profit of 12 and 16 rupees on A and B type. So, we can, if he is producing X and Y numbers, Z is going to be equal to 12X plus 16Y. So, these are the inequations with the help of which we will find out X and Y. What we have written is correct. X plus Y is less than or equal to 1200. Y is less than or equal to X by 2. X is less than or equal to 3Y plus 600 and Z equal to 12X plus 16Y. Now, we have to plot this on the graph paper. In order to plot, first we convert them into equations and then do it. But since we have solved many problems, we can skip that part and directly take the points. For example, this one, take X and Y values. Let us say X is 0, Y is 1200. If y is 0, x is 1200. Come to this y equal to x by 2. Take x and y for this. Let us say x is equal to let us say 1000. Y is half of it, that is 500. Suppose if this is 600, this is 300. Come to this third one. Take x and y values. X equal to 3y plus 600 will be the equation. Suppose if x is 0, don't take negative values. Suppose y is 0, x will be 600. Okay. If y is 0, x is 600. Take one more value, that should be good enough. Let us say x is equal to 1200. X is equal to 1200. So 600 will come this side. So 12 minus 6, it will be 600. 600 by 3 will be 200. This is the optimization function. We don't draw this. So these are good enough to draw the graph. So draw the graph. Plot the points. Let us begin with the first one. X is 0, y is 1200, and y is 0, x is 1200. So join these two. First one, x plus y equal to 1200. So this is done. Next one, x is 1000, y is 500. X is 1000, y is 500. Somewhere here. Similarly, x is 600, y is 300. We could have also taken a point, x is 0, y is 0. So very simple. Then so this is the second one. Come to the third one, this one. X is 600, y is 0. And x is 1200, it is 200. So join these two. This is representing y equal to x by 2. This is representing x equal to 3y plus 600. And remember always, x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0 are always included. So above x-axis, or in other words in the first quadrant. Now shade the areas. Shade the area. Let us take the first one, x plus y equal to that. If you substitute 0, 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 1200. So towards the origin. Towards the origin we need to shade. Second one is passing through origin, so don't take origin, take any point, let us say 400 comma 0. 0 is less than 400 by 2, that is 200, it is true. So towards this particular point, so this is the direction for this line, this is the direction. Come to the third one. Since it is passing through this, you can always take 0, 0. If you substitute 0, 0, 0 is less than 0 plus 600 is true. So toward the origin. So it is basically above. Now find out the common area. Below this line, above this line in the first quadrant. So we can say that this is the common area. You can call it O, A, B, C. That is the common shaded area, with the help of which we find out the optimization function. So once again, if you draw it on the graph, you will note the exact locations of these points. Since we have drawn a rough diagram, we will write down the points so that there will not be any mistake. The points are, first one is not at all difficult. A is very simple. A is 600, 0. Come to B. The point B is 1050, 150. Point C is 800, 400. And D, point D is not there. So point D is nothing but O only, 0, 0. Let us find out in each case what is Z. Z is equal to 600, 0. Remember, this is the optimization function. So 12 into 600. Second one, 12 into 1050 plus 16 into 150. Third one, 12 into 800 plus 16 into 400. Last one is anyway 0, so no need to take into consideration. Simplify this, 12 zeros 0, 12 5s are 60, and then 12 1s are 12. Multiply with this, 0, 15 6 are 90, 0 9, 15 plus 9, 24. Finally, 9600 plus 6400. Here the profit is 2 zeros, 4 plus 6 10, 3 plus 2 5, and 1. Here the profit is 2 zeros, 4 plus 6 10, 6 plus 1 7 plus 9 16. So these are the values. We'll just check whether the values are correct. First one is 7200, second is 15,000, and the third one is 16,000. So values are correct. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is about the profit. So we need to optimize the profit. So we can find that in the last case the profit is maximum 16,000 rupees. Hence X is equal to, when did we get that profit? When X is 800 and Y is 400. What is this 800? These are type A dolls and these are type B dolls, and the profit is 16,000 rupees. The company should produce per week $800 of first type, $400 of second type in order to maximize the profit, which is 16,000 rupees. So, in this particular manner, we solve the problems of linear programming, and many of the day-to-day situations we come across which we can formalize in the form of inequalities, and once we are able to formulate in the form of inequalities, we can find out the optimization function. So, with this we come to a close of this particular session, and we thank you for your patience that each problem took quite good amount of time to solve, and very patiently you are able to observe. Thank you. Sai Ram.